20 dirt cheap cars you must buy in America, because they can outlast almost every new car. The American car market has become ridiculous. New cars are expensive, interest rates are painful, insurance costs are climbing, and even so-called affordable vehicles now push buyers into payments that feel more like rent. Dealerships are full of crossovers with giant screens, turbocharged engines, software updates, subscription features, and repair bills waiting to happen. Meanwhile, some of the smartest cars in the country are sitting quietly on used car lots, Facebook marketplace listings, private driveways, and auction rows. They are not glamorous. They do not impress your neighbors. They will not make you look rich at a gas station. But they do something far more important. They start, they commute, they survive. This list is not about luxury. It is about cheap cars with proven mechanical bones, strong parts availability, and a reputation for taking real American abuse. Long commutes, hot summers, salty winters, bad roads, neglected oil changes, teenage drivers, grocery runs, delivery shifts, and endless highway miles. Prices vary by state, rust, mileage, title history, and condition. But if you buy carefully, these 20 used cars can make more sense than many brand new vehicles sitting on dealer lots right now. In 20th place, the Chevrolet Spark. The Spark was never cool, and that is why it can still be a bargain. Used examples often sit between $5,000 and $10,000, depending on year and mileage. It is tiny, slow, basic, and not something anyone buys for status. But for city driving, college students, first-time buyers, or anyone avoiding a giant payment, the Spark works. It is easy to park, cheap on tires, cheap on fuel, and simple enough for basic maintenance. Avoid neglected cars, check the transmission carefully, and look for one with a clean service history. A good Spark is not exciting. It is survival transportation. In 19th place, the Mitsubishi Mirage. Reviewers love to mock the Mirage. They call it slow, noisy, and cheap feeling. They are not wrong, but that misses the point. Used Mirages can often be found between $6,000 and $12,000, and fuel economy can be excellent. The Mirage is one of the last truly simple, cheap cars sold in America. Small engine, low weight, low tire cost, low brake cost, and basic transportation without pretending to be premium. The CVT needs proper maintenance, and the interior will never feel expensive. But if your goal is to spend as little as possible and keep moving, the Mirage deserves more respect than it gets. In 18th place, the Nissan Versa. The Versa has been one of America's value car staples for years. Used examples are everywhere, often from $7,000 to $15,000. That supply is both a blessing and a warning. The blessing is parts, availability, and choice. The warning is that many Versas lived hard lives as rental cars, delivery cars, or budget commuters. Look for clean ownership history, avoid abused examples, and be careful with neglected CVT transmissions. Buy the right one, especially a manual or a well-serviced automatic, and the Versa can be cheap, roomy transportation that does not pretend to be anything else. In 17th place, the Hyundai Accent. The Accent is one of those cars people forget until they need something affordable. Used examples commonly sit between $6,000 and $12,000. It is basic, but not miserable. Hyundai sold enough of them that parts and knowledge are not difficult to find. It is efficient, easy to drive, and cheap to insure in many areas. The key is avoiding cars that were maintained like disposable appliances. Check oil changes, suspension wear, accident history, and transmission behavior. A clean Accent is a smart little commuter. In 16th place, the Kia Rio. The Kia Rio gives you a similar argument with a slightly different personality. Used examples often fall between $7,000 and $14,000. It feels more modern than many bargain subcompacts, and can be a great choice if you want a cheap car that does not feel ancient. The Rio is not a luxury car, but it is honest. Good fuel economy, low running costs, simple size, and decent reliability when serviced properly. Watch for prior rental use, neglected maintenance, and insurance costs in your area. With the right history, the Rio is one of the better cheap car buys. In 15th place, the Toyota Yaris. The Yaris is small, plain, and deeply sensible. Used cars can range from $6,000 to $13,000, depending on generation. It does not have the personality of a Mazda or the space of a Corolla, but it has Toyota simplicity on its side. This is a car built for people who do not want drama. Cheap tires, good mileage, low repair stress, and strong reliability. It is not fast, not fancy, and not spacious, but it is one of those cars that can keep going long after trendier vehicles become repair projects. In 14th place, the Scion IA, later known as the Toyota Yaris IA. This is one of the sneakiest cheap cars in America. Many buyers do not understand what it is. It wore a Scion badge, then a Toyota badge, but underneath it was closely related to the Mazda 2 platform sold elsewhere. Used examples often sit between $9,000 and $16,000. For that money, you get a small sedan that is fuel efficient, sharp to drive, and more refined than people expect. The confusion around the name helps keep it overlooked. Check for accident history and suspension wear. A clean IA is a hidden gem. In 13th place, the Ford Focus, but only with a manual transmission. This warning matters. Automatic Focus models from certain years became infamous for transmission problems, but manual Focus hatchbacks and sedans can be completely different animals. Used manuals can often be found between $5,000 and $10,000 because the whole model name got punished by the automatic mess. That creates opportunity. The Focus handles well, parts are cheap, and the car is more enjoyable than many economy rivals. Buy the manual, verify maintenance, and you get a cheap driver's car hiding under a damaged reputation. In 12th place, the Mazda 2. The Mazda 2 was never a huge seller in America, but that makes it more interesting. Used examples can often be found between $5,000 and $10,000. It is small, light, and simple, with the kind of playful handling Mazda does better than most brands. It is not powerful, and it is not loaded with features, but it is easy to park, cheap to run, and more fun than many cars twice its price. Rust can matter in snowy states, and clean examples are becoming harder to find. But the right Mazda 2 is a brilliant cheap runabout. In 11th place, the Chevrolet Malibu. A mid-size sedan under $15,000 is getting harder to find, but the Malibu is still out there. Used examples from the modern generation often sit between $10,000 and $15,000, depending on mileage. It offers more room than compact cars, a comfortable ride, and decent fuel economy. It will not have Toyota Camry resale strength, but that is why it can be cheaper. Check turbo engine maintenance, suspension wear, and rental history. For a highway commuter on a budget, the Malibu makes more sense than people admit. In 10th place, the Kia Forte. The Forte is one of the smarter used sedans under $15,000. It offers a quiet cabin, modern features, and good fuel economy without the Honda or Toyota price premium. Used examples from recent years can often land between $11,000 and $15,000. The best ones feel newer than their price suggests. Check insurance costs, service records, and prior accident history. A clean Forte is not just cheap, it is genuinely useful. In 9th place, the Hyundai Elantra. The Elantra is another compact sedan that often gets overlooked by people chasing Civics and Corollas. Used examples can usually be found between $9,000 and $16,000. The Elantra gives you good fuel economy, usable space, simple driving, and plenty of availability. Later models feel surprisingly modern. The trick is finding one that was maintained correctly and not abused as a rental or rideshare car. Avoid engines with poor service history. Buy carefully, and the Elantra can deliver years of low-stress driving. In 8th place, the Mazda 3. The Mazda 3 is where cheap starts to feel genuinely desirable. Used third-generation cars, especially from the mid-2010s, can often be found under $15,000. It is stylish, fun to drive, and still known for strong reliability when maintained. It is not as roomy as some rivals, but it feels more premium than most cheap compacts. Check rust in northern states, suspension, tires, and accident repairs. If you find a clean one, the Mazda 3 gives you Japanese reliability with personality. In 7th place, the Toyota Matrix. The Matrix is one of the most practical forgotten cars in America. It is basically a Corolla-based hatchback wagon with real cargo usefulness. Used prices vary widely, but many examples sit between $6,000 and $12,000. It is not exciting, but it is incredibly useful. The rear cargo area is practical, the mechanical layout is familiar, and parts are not scary. Check oil consumption on certain engines, rust and suspension wear. Buy the right one, and the Matrix can be a small car that works like a mini utility vehicle. In 6th place, the Pontiac Vibe. The Pontiac Vibe is the ultimate badge trick. Most people see a dead Pontiac badge and keep walking. Smart buyers know it shares deep mechanical roots with the Toyota Matrix and Corolla. Used examples often sit between $5,000 and $11,000. That makes the Vibe one of the best sleepers in the American used market. You get hatchback practicality, Toyota-derived durability, and a lower price because the badge scares people off. Check condition, not image. A clean vibe is one of the smartest cheap cars you can buy. In fifth place, the Honda Fit. The Honda Fit is small outside and huge inside. Used prices are not always dirt cheap because people finally understand how good it is, but older examples can still be found between $7,000 and $15,000. The Magic Seat system makes it absurdly practical. The 1.5-liter engine is efficient and durable. It is easy to drive, easy to park, and surprisingly fun. Check CVT maintenance on later cars, suspension, air conditioning, and accident history. A well-kept Fit can outlive far more expensive crossovers. In fourth place, the Toyota Prius. The Prius went from punchline to genius. Used examples can range from $6,000 to $15,000 for older generations, and they remain some of the smartest commuters in America. Fuel economy is excellent. Brakes last a long time. Cargo space is useful, and Toyota's hybrid system has proven itself over millions of miles. Do not buy blindly. Check hybrid battery health, brake actuator issues, and maintenance history. But a good Prius can save fuel for years, while newer cars bleed owners through payments and depreciation. In third place, the Toyota Corolla. The Corolla is boring in the best possible way. Used examples from older years often land between $8,000 and $15,000. It is not exciting, but it is one of the safest used car choices in America. Low running costs, strong reliability, easy parts, good resale, and a massive owner base make the Corolla a default answer for a reason. Check accident history, CVT maintenance on later cars, and rust in winter states. A clean Corolla is almost never a bad idea. In second place, the Honda Civic. The Civic costs more than some rivals, but it earns it. Used examples from the mid-2010s can often fit under $15,000 if you shop carefully. It brings reliability, fuel economy, better driving feel, and huge parts support. Avoid badly modified cars, neglected turbo engines, and rebuilt titles. Look for stock examples with service history. A Civic that has been treated like transportation instead of a street racing project can run for a very long time. And in first place, the Ford Crown Victoria, Mercury Grand Marquis, and Lincoln Town Car. This is the most American answer on the list. These Panther platform sedans are old, huge, thirsty, and completely out of fashion. That is exactly why they are brilliant. Used examples can still appear between $4,000 and $10,000, though clean low-mileage cars are getting more expensive. Under the hood is Ford's 4.6-liter V8, a simple, durable engine that powered police cars, taxis, airport cars, and retirees across the country. Parts are everywhere. Mechanics know them. The ride is comfortable, the trunk is enormous, and the platform was built for abuse. Fuel economy is not great, parking is not fun, and safety tech is old. But for cheap durability, these cars are legends. Across all 20 cars, the lesson is simple. The best cheap car in America is not always the newest one, the prettiest one, or the one with the biggest screen. It is the one with proof. Proof that parts exist. Proof that mechanics understand it. Proof that owners have already taken them beyond 200,000 miles. Proof that the car can survive real life instead of a Mao. Just looking good in a commercial. The Chevrolet Spark, Mitsubishi Mirage, Nissan Versa, Hyundai Accent, Kia Rio, Toyota Yaris, Scion IA, Ford Focus Manual, Mazda 2, Chevrolet Malibu, Kia Forte, Hyundai Elantra, Mazda 3, Toyota Matrix, Pontiac Vibe, Honda Fit, Toyota Prius, Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, and Ford Panther sedans all prove that cheap does not have to mean disposable. Buy with patience. Inspect carefully. Avoid rust, salvage titles, overheating, skipped oil changes, and suspiciously cheap deals. Because sometimes the smartest car in America is not the new one in the showroom. It is the old, boring one everybody else ignored. Which one would you buy?